So here uh, government is not going to give the project NOC for the establishments. So government is also a stakeholder, but indirectly. Legal system is also a stakeholder, but indirectly. So there are two categories of stakeholders. One direct or internal stakeholders, in which the client, contractor, the project manager, the civil engineer, who are responsible, designer, these all are the all are the stakeholder of the construction site. Under the indirect or external stakeholders, the government functionary, local bodies, local natives, local shopkeepers, etc. All are the stakeholders, but indirect stakeholders of a construction site. Now, what is the role and responsibility of the client and their contractors in construction project? Role and responsibility of client and their contractors in construction project. All projects require the following very first. The client should be check the competence of all their appointees, ensure suitable management arrangement for the project. That's the client should very first judge that those are appointed by the client are competent or not. Here, the client, what's the agreement made with the contractors? Here, the client should very first assess that this construction company or the contractors is suitable for this type of construction site or not. What's their previous record? And what's the credential of the construction company or the contractors? And authorizing on the basis of the previous credential of the construction company or contractors, clients should always keep in mind the health, safety and welfare measures of the workers, and then after consider for the contractor and make agreement on the behalf of constructions. Second, the designer should eliminate, reduce, or control hazards. What's the designs which are conceived under the project? Whether such design is very prone to the hazards or there is less chances of hazard. So here the client should in the absence of self-capability to analyze the design may gets a professional services that this design is whether very prone to hazard or whatever be the extent of hazard, connecting this particular designs, and the client should prefer the less hazardous constructions. The design which having very less hazardous happenings should be preferred first. Third, the welfare facilities. What are the welfare facilities? Regarding health safety and welfare of the workers indulge in the project or the construction site. These all are previously assessed, should be assessed by the client. And in this regard, there are so many laws. And the client should aware that all the law pertaining health, safety, welfare are going to obey in this project or not. Because there are rules and regulations, legislations, act, and any disturbance of such things may be cause closure of the project in the future. So previously it should be aware and analyze that such all the legalities regarding health, safety and welfare on the construction site will be obeyed or not. And if there is any type of suspicions, the client should give up either the contractors or the such type of construction plan, because it is very worst to fasten in the middle of the construction process. In the course of legal formalities and others obligations which could be fulfilled by the client or owner, and in any front if there is any difficulty come out in future, it may be possible that all the project go in ban. So, on the aspect of welfare facilities, health hazard, etc., that's the rules, regulations, all are obeyed by the contractor or not. It should be predetermined. And even in the agreement, put the things before the contractors and construction company that you should obey all the rules and regulations, such and such rules and regulations, and you will have to obey such laws. And on that front, if the contractor or construction company have not any difficulty to obey such things, they are welcomed. Otherwise, no. Fourthly, assure cooperation and coordination regarding health and safety of the workers. Cooperation and coordinations. The two terms, cooperations and coordinations. Whether there is a system will be developed there for the well cooperation or coordination, specifically for the health and safety and welfare measures. This system is this system could be developed by the client or not, because the coordination and cooperations are not possible without any system, and it should also put in the agreements. What's the system will be on the front of health, safety and welfare measures of the workers. The client should clear about all. Fifth, assure the responsibility of the individuals. although these are the responsibility on the shoulders of uh, the construction company or the contractor who will going to execute the contract or constructions. And this is the subject matter of internal management of the construction site. And under internal management, the accountability, responsibility, all should be well prepared and ascertained for all the persons working in the construction site. Otherwise, any person who don't know their accountability, responsibility and authority, in confusion may be will do something which are arduous for the whole project. So, authority, responsibility, accountability for the each person in the project should be previously ascertained. Certainly, these are not the responsibility of the client, but the contractor of the or construction company. Sixth, assure the informations. It should be keep in mind that whatever be the policies, procedures, measures regarding health, safety and welfare of the workers should be well communicated. That's all could be aware of these things. So a good communication system should be required by. Otherwise, it may be possible that in the absence of informations, the directions or the guideline or policy, these all are not practiced appropriately on the construction site. And what happens? In the absence of informations, proper informations, the policy, procedures, rules, regulations, direction, guidelines, all are become a things which are the subject matter of top management. And it's become a very good literature rather than practices and excuses. So it should be very approachable to the person working in any construction site. So there is a need of a good information system. 7. Investigating incident and learning the lessons. This point is also for the contractor or construction company. Previously, what's happened? what are the happenings on the front of health, safety, and hazards and welfare? The contractor should investigate all the things. Certainly, these are the activities which are probing activity in the in the past. But what incidents take place in the past should be the lesson for the future. And so the construction company client never forget those happenings in the past. Under investigations, all should be ascertained that what is the cause of such type of happenings, bad happenings, and in future the same happenings, bad happenings, doesn't repeat it, and it is possible only whenever probe into the past and take the lesson from the past. Earth. Working condition, that is control of chemical risk and fire precautions. What will be the working conditions on the construction site? It should be analyzed previously, and there should be a control measures of air pollutions, noise pollutions, chemical pollutions, and also the fire precautions should be justified on the construction site. And an expert opinion in this regard is needed. Whenever needed, the contractor should afford such expenses for the expert opinion in this behalf. 9th, risk assessment. how the procedures could be safe. Design should be safe. System should be developed. But there is some chances of risk too. So the risk assessment are also needed. What will be happen in the future, and accordingly the arrangement, the measures should be adopted by the construction company or the contractor. 10th, project management. This is a very broad subject, project management. There is 3 stages in the project management. First, initiations. Second, planning. Third, executions. And fourth achievement of the project. Listen, students, I am Dr. Arvind Kumar. We are taking class of PPL&E, Professional Practice, Law and Ethics. Here, I am going to familiarize you regarding the health, safety, welfare measures of any construction site. Although these are common things and all somewhat know about these alls, but here there is a specialized training whenever given to the civil engineer. It's essential to communicate all the minutes that's what will happen in any project. As you know that what is the project? The project like a multi-storage building, a flyover, bridges, dam. These are some example of the project. And before executions of this project, on the aspect of health, safety and welfare. Of those working at the construction site, it is advisable that you should keep in mind such things which become the guidelines whenever in actual you go through any construction project, because you are the student of civil engineering. That's why here the project specifically means the construction site, construction project, as building, flyover, bridges, tunnel, passway tunnel, dam, bridge, reservoir, etc. So, very first I want to clarify that who is stakeholders. This word very frequently in use. Stakeholders. A stakeholder of the construction site. So, stakeholders means the person those are responsible for. Like very first the stakeholder is the client itself, contractor, another, and any construction site you should keep in mind that we are living in a democratic setup of the country. The affairs of constructions are not only limited regarding the client and the contractors or the workers who indulge in the constructions. And this is a very narrow meaning of the stakeholder. That's the stakeholders means the client, owner and the contractors who made the agreement with the client. These are the stakeholders, no. Although they are direct stakeholders, but there are also indirect stakeholders too, as local natives, shop owners, local government bodies such as municipalities, gram panchayat, etc. And the government, here the appropriate government. Appropriate government means either central government or the state government. Both are indirect stakeholders. Why? Because the ultimate responsibility goes on the shoulder of the government. Whether this construction site is environmentally feasible or legal feasible or not. As for example, a simple example. A person wants to establish a project, and that's why the constructions of the godown, factory, etc., which are needed for the productions of the wine in Bihar. Is it legally feasible project? Of course not, because the wine is banned in our states. That's why this type of project is not legally feasible. That there is need of government interference, and they are not going to approve this type of project. Where government functionary very first have to approve such type of project. Certainly these type of projects are illegal. That's why these are not legally feasible. The second example is any construction site where the local natives, shop owner and others, feel that this project will badly affect the life of the natives and the livelihood of the life and livelihood of the owners. So, very first, during the environmental impact assessment, there are formalities, not formalities but legalities, that there is a environmental impact assessment, and during this process the local natives opinion regarding such type of projects are very first needed by the government for the approval of such type of project, and under the legalities the project owner or the client have to arrange a meeting with the locals for the no objections, and anyhow there is objections regarding this construction site, and the government functionary feel that this is not environmentally friendly project, and there will be certainly a bad impact on the locals. In such circumstances, not only the government but also the legal